Welcome to This Explainer. What we saw between France and Sweden, it wasn't just a football game, guys. It was a literal masterclass in positional fluidity and tactical problem solving on the pitch. France completely tore Sweden apart, and today we're going to break down exactly how they pulled it off. But hey, before we dive into this tactical breakdown, please like, subscribe, and share Football Flash Live channel for more updates. All right, let's get right into it. So let's start with the big, massive tactical puzzle of the match. How on earth do you break down a six-man defensive wall? Because honestly, that's the exact lock France had to pick. When Sweden was in their defensive phase, they dropped so incredibly deep and overloaded their backline so heavily that France was basically staring at a fortified brick wall. It was this crazy spatial mystery that required absolute, pinpoint precision to crack. Section 1. The setup. The Swedish wall. Right away, we've got a massive contrast in game plans here. Sweden set up this highly compact 4-4-2 in their own half, basically giving France absolutely zero room to progress through the center. Their whole idea was to win back possession and just ping direct balls on the counter to Victor Gyökeres. But France, they responded brilliantly. Since the center was completely blocked off, France immediately shifted focus to the wings, creating these really clever passing triangles and using deep playmaking to completely bypass that central block. Now, Sweden obviously wasn't just going to hand over the wings for free, right? Whenever France pushed out wide, it triggered what's called a three-player defensive shift from the Swedish side. Literally, three players would aggressively slide over toward the ball just to cover it. And to protect the box even more, two central midfielders and the far side winger would tuck inside. I mean, it was a totally suffocating defensive net. Section 2. Unlocking the right flank. So how do you beat that? Well, France just short-circuited Sweden's whole structure by creating absolute chaos. Check this out. Step 1, Ousmane Dembélé drops Deke, and that drags Sweden's left back entirely out of position. Step 2, the exact second that happens, Jules Koundé makes a lightning-fast overlapping run right into that empty space. And step 3, Michael Olise immediately attacks the remaining space and threads the pass. These constant, rapid-fire counter-movements just tore Sweden's defense to shreds. And speaking of Olise, we really have to talk about his role here as a deep-lying playmaker. That's a player who operates from deep to dictate play, exploit space, and create passing angles. And Olise executed this to absolute perfection. He was constantly dropping back to find passes between the lines. Oh, and we definitely can't forget Adrien Rabiot, who brilliantly backed up this attack with these sharp, vertical, line-breaking runs straight from the midfield, perfectly capitalizing on the angles Olise was creating. Section 3. The left flank threat. Now, over on the left side, the tactical dilemma was what the source analysis calls the Gyökeres factor. Get this, Sweden actually assigned their main striker, Victor Gyökeres, to drop deep and play as an extra defender specifically to contain Kylian Mbappé. Every single time Mbappé touched the ball, boom, Gyökeres was right there applying pressure. It created this fascinating little lycra battle on the pitch, and honestly, for a little while, it actually worked to limit Mbappe's influence. But, well, elite players adapt. Mbappé realized pretty quick that he couldn't find space centrally, so he started drifting much deeper and way out wider. Sweden's wide defenders just couldn't step up fast enough to catch him, and their central midfielders were stuck defending the middle. Suddenly, Mbappé has all the time and space in the world to dictate the play. Out wide, his options completely opened up. He could whip across to the far post, thread a line-breaking through ball, or, just cut inside and take a shot himself. And eventually, all that relentless pressure just snapped the Swedish lock right open for the first goal. It all starts with a quick corner kick. Dembélé spots Mbappé, threads him a pass, and from there, it is just pure individual brilliance. Mbappé uses this unbelievable close control and super quick footwork to slice inside and then curls an absolute stunner into the far corner. I mean, when you have a phenomenal trio of creative players like that, they're going to produce magic sooner or later. Section 4. Transition and collapse. So, trailing by a goal, Sweden had to push forward to find an equalizer. But by doing that, their super rigid compact structure totally fell apart. They couldn't control the space between the lines anymore, and that left them horribly exposed to these devastating 3-versus-2 counterattacks from France. The entire dynamic of the game just flipped on its head in an instant. This is exactly where Michael Olise's elite football IQ really shines, especially during the second goal. On the transition, he gets the ball and instantly scans the pitch. He sees that the obvious dangerous passing lanes are completely blocked. But instead of panicking or forcing a bad pass, he shows insane patience. He carries the ball just slightly to his left to buy his teammates a fraction of a second more time. And the moment the space opens up behind the defense, he plays a perfectly weighted pass for Bradley Barcola to just smash home. Absolute genius. And we literally see that exact same telepathic understanding for the third goal. Step 1, Olise gets the ball just outside the box and does his scan. Step 2, he realizes there are no good through ball options to his right, so again, he shifts left. Step 3, both he and Mbappé instantly recognize this newly open passing lane on the left side. Olise threads a flawless pass right into the path of the on-rushing Mbappé, who just calmly puts it away. The spatial awareness between those two guys was just terrifying for the defense. Section 5. France's tactical mastery. This source analysis actually left us with this super bold takeaway. They said, I'd even describe them as the international version of PSG. And wow, that is massive praise. It just emphasizes that right now, France's level of creative fluidity, their sheer star power, and total positional dominance makes them almost impossible to stop when they're playing at this caliber. So, riding this massive wave of momentum and total tactical supremacy, France marches on. Next up for them, Paraguay. And based on the crazy positional fluidity and overwhelming attacking power we just broke down, honestly, they're fully expected to handle Paraguay pretty comfortably as they push deeper into the tournament. Which leaves us with the ultimate questions, right? Can France actually go all the way and win the World Cup? And is an Argentina rematch totally inevitable in the final? I really want to know what you guys think based on this tactical breakdown. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this match. And hey, please like, subscribe, and share Football Flash Live channel for more updates. See you next time.